Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Blur and Blast. So you might have seen a lot of your favorite YouTubers or influencers shilling Blast, and you might be able to tell from the title, but I'm not a big fan, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm personally not really doing much on Blast. I'm gonna tell you why. So stick around for that video. Nothing I say is financial advice. And one more thing, guys, if you're a fan of this and you end up doing the airdrop farming, whatever it is, I wish you well. This is not like an attack on anything. I'm just gonna make a case why I'm personally not doing it. So if don't be like in the comments trying to attack anyone that's doing it or anything like that. You do you, like I'm not even an influencer, so nothing I say really matters like that. I'm not gonna be able to create a fund for a project of this caliber. So let's get into it. So first of all, what is Blast? So it came up on the scene a few days ago. It's been going quite crazy because it's been invested in by Paradigm, which is if you see my previous video, one of the like best tier one investors in crypto. They also invested in like Optimism, Uniswap, Friendtech, and so that's what created the buzz. And also the project is by Blur, which is another NFT project that was I would say is fairly successful. So let's get into what exactly is. So it's an L2 here. You can see the definition. An L2 with native yield backed by Paradigm and Standard Crypto airdrop for early access members live now. Okay, so they announced their plan to do an airdrop a few days ago, and ever since then, everyone's been talking about it, shilling their referral links. Every chat you go into, everyone chatting, giving their referral link, which is not a good thing. I'll talk about that a bit more later. So if we go on their website, you can see also they got a TVL of 500 million already, which is very impressive. Total users and very famously Paradigm. Then you got DJ Spartan, obviously. He's very well known. You got Andrew Kang. So DJ Spartan, he's kind of made his name in the synthetic era when synthetics was like quite new, and he was one of the biggest shillers for that, or influencers for that. And sorry about that, guys. So yeah, so he made his name there. So we'll talk about more exactly what it is and what the tasks are. Even though I'm not doing it, I will show you one or two threads where people talk about what you need to do to receive or be eligible for the airdrop. So here you have a thread by Blur themselves. So this is the NFT project that talks about this new project of theirs called Blend. Okay. So here they talk about that they've been backed and enables 10x higher yield opportunity than current DeFi protocols, etc. So here there's a whole definition of what they do. In the link to the description, you guys can read it. But it's an L2 right now. They're using Optimism Tech. They're not currently on mainnet yet, but you can deposit ETH and you get yields on ETH via staking, and you can also deposit stable coins and you'll get rewards for the stablecoin. So that's what it is. And then for referring people, you'll get Blur points, which will translate into airdrop allocation. So in a nutshell, that's what Blur does. I mean, sorry, Blend. Yeah. So here you can see they've raised $20 million dollars. So here you can see they've raised $20 million dollars from Paradigm, etc. Ego, standard crypto. So that you got Hustle, famous Hustle, Larry Cermak, Andrew Kane. So as you can see, like the investors are also tier one, and that's what's helped make such a hype about this project. So I just want to talk about a bit about Paradigms, because without Paradigm, I don't think this project would have been got that much hype. I mean, the other investors alone are not enough status or enough hype to hype this project up. So we can see here some of their portfolio projects. So you can see here Ethereum, Uniswap. As you can see, they've invested in some complete bangers, guys. There's no doubt about the caliber of Paradigm. It's probably like no, in anybody's list, it won't be less than top three investors. So even myself, I would rank it one or two in all of crypto. Paradigm is by the co-founder of Coinbase. So they obviously got a lot of connections and a lot of they've invested. It seems like a lot of teams like the way they do things, and hence why they get Paradigm to invest in their project. And by them investing alone, the project gets a lot of notoriety. But what I wanted to say about it is, just because someone invested in a project doesn't mean it's successful, etc. Even Paradigm themselves have some disagreements with Blur, which I'll get into a bit later. But yes, I just want to know praise Paradigm and that the fact that they've done really great job in crypto. Uniswap, they've invested in so many really good crypto projects, and them backing it is good, but that's not a guarantee of anything, guys. So here, just to go into the task of, if you do want to do the task of Blend, what you'd have to do. So I'll leave some thread, but long story short, like I said, the main thing you need to do is deposit ETH on their chain or stable coins and refer people, and that's what's going to allow you to be eligible and set your criteria of your airdrop. Although the cards are stacked up against you guys, there's whales putting in a lot of money, so I highly doubt retail people are going to be able to get anything significant that's worth their money, etc. But I'll go into that whale part in a bit. But yeah, this thread talks about what you have to do, but like I said, it's pretty straightforward. There's not too much to it. And then there's another thread here by Ardiza, and there's I believe there was one by No Brain Flip. Probably I'll leave the link in the description. But all of them pretty much say the same thing, that they've who they raised money from, and what you need to do, and who invested in the project, etc. So now to conclude the video, I want to talk about like my criticism and stuff that I found, interesting things that I found about the project. So number one, you have an article here by The Block, and they talk about how Blast launch cross-aligned in messaging and execution, says Paradigm. So you can see here there's a tweet. Sorry, I misclicked it. There's a tweet by the one of Paradigm members. I think he was one of the main person that invested in Blend. Sorry, and he talks about here. I thought I highlighted it. Following the controversial early access launch of the new Ethereum Layer 2 network Blast, Paradigm, which led Blast seed round alongside Standard Crypto, has spoken out against the project's tactics. Paradigm's head of research, Dan Robinson, said in a post on X that the VC firm doesn't agree with Blast's decision to launch its bridge before L2 network and to disable withdrawals for 3 months, which he said sets a bad precedent for other projects. We also think much of the marketing cheapens the work of serious team, Robinson added. So you can see that tweet here, and they've basically summarized there very well. So you can see Paradigm themselves, even though they invest, they said that they really like the Blur team because they've invested in 2 of their projects before. One called Namebase, and obviously the last one called Blur. But he did talk about his disagreements, things that he didn't really like about Blend, and I agree with what he's saying. And also the other thing I want to mention is some of these tweets that I found was quite interesting. So there's a tweet by Wise Crypto says, talking about Blend, raised seed money with no testnet, no documents, nothing. Use points and Ref Ponzi attracts TVL, total value lock, to chain that doesn't exist. Road Dog, excuse my French, that the deposited ETH into STETH on a 5-person multi-sig of Anon devs. So Anon means anonymous, and devs obviously mean developers. So 5-person multi-Anon devs, that's not a good sign, guys. So if you're losing this much funds, Paradigm probably done checks on KYC, etc. But this is not a good sign. If this is true, which does seem like it's true, because I've seen similar things said by more reputable sources. So for example, there's actually, I'll get into this later, there's a article by Ubu Blockchain, and they talk about some of their concerns as well. So there's a few concerns here. So yeah, I'll talk about concerns and responses. The market's main concern about Blast revolves around 2 aspects: contract security and its brutal model. Addressing security concerns, L2B pointed out that although the Blast contract is referred to as a launch bridge, is not actually a roll-up bridge, but a simple custodial contract protected by a 3-5 multi-sig address. Blast lacks the validity proofs required for an L2 state root or a fraud-proof mechanism. Okay, so they're challenging on a technical aspect. But what's more interesting is this regarding the brutal approach. They talk about the Ponzinomics or the referral system. So here it says it can be broadly categorized into 2 aspects: tactical and operational. Technical and operational. Technical simplicity is a so-called L2 with hardly any features, relying solely on a simple intermediary custodial contract to attract hundreds of millions of dollars in locked-up assets. Operational brutality, reusing the criticized invitation mechanism and point system from Paradigm major project Blur and Frentech, and combining this with a mandatory lockup before the mainnet launch on a leaderboard closely related to airdrops, exploits users' tendency to chase airdrops and their psychological inertia when it comes to unrewarded long-term engagement, leading to a FOMO among players. He's criticizing his referral-based system, and this is one thing that what I want to kind of stress on. So guys, if whenever like look at different projects, different people, etc. Whenever you've made money in crypto, it's always been because you've known something that other people don't know. So for example, if you do 100x or a 10x, you get into a project early, and then the market realizes it's true value or whatever, it gets hype, and then you sell it, and that's how you make profit. So there's get a mismatch of information, and that's where the alpha is. That's where the gain is. Where have you ever seen when everyone knows about something, everyone makes money? That doesn't work. That's just not how the markets work. That's not how any work, even in stocks, in market. For some, the only way you make return is because there's a mismatch of information. There's certain people that don't believe it. But the way the Blast being like promoted and shilled by so many people, they're getting reward, like each to their own. They can do whatever they want, right? But the fact that they are, the everyone already knows about it. Okay, first of all, the cards are stacked up against you, because let me show you this, right? One address deposited 31 million, okay, alone. Okay, and you might say that's a syndicate of people, blah, 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 whatever, right? So you're literally you're competing against these people, all right? There could even be projects that are going to farm this, right? I wouldn't be surprised if like some other ETH projects or other projects, they put like $15 million worth of their ETH in this. And you're going to put what, like a few hundred, a few K? Like retail people ain't going to put more than a few K, right? Most retail people can't afford that. And so what are you going to get? You're going to get peanuts for what? Like, is it actually going to be worth looking up your ETH for the duration for a few months, whatever, until the airdrop? Like, if you were to do a 2x on that ETH, which is fairly easy in this market, like it's not that hard, you would have been better off, because what is your airdrop going to be worth? And also, don't also think about it. When you get your airdrop, it's not about the airdrop, it's about what you can sell it for, right? If everyone's got something and it's not like there's no demand, you can't actually sell it or whatever, it's not worth anything, then it's not worth nothing, right? And what I mean, I say that to say, if everyone already knows about it and everyone's farming it now, who's gonna buy it on? Who are you gonna flip it to? Okay, are you gonna flip the Blast token to who are you gonna be able to flip it on? Because everyone's already farmed it, everyone's already got the token, right? When you look at all these other airdrops and what's done well, like for example Celestia, it came out, actually the project is very high caliber. Certain people got it, not everyone got it. You couldn't farm it. People that done the node running, whatever, got some, and people that were early in some of these projects, and it wasn't a one that everyone knew about, everyone was farming, right? And so it done very well. And similar with anything, any trade you see, you've only done well when there's a mismatch in the market, right? Everyone knows about Blast. Like literally every Tom, Dick and Barry is farming this now. So who's gonna buy the token when it launches? Like, I know there might be some hype and they're gonna try to do some other Ponzinomics, whatever. Like I said, I actually hope I'm wrong, because I actually want people to do well. So if I'm wrong, that's fine. Like, if people can make money, but for me, it just doesn't make sense, because everyone's chilling. Every chat I go to, there's like every guy with his referral link chilling it out. I haven't signed up, and I wouldn't sign up because I don't really do anything, go to do lending, etc. But I don't see how this makes sense. Like, if everyone's farming it, who are you gonna dump these tokens on, right? And think about it, the amount you're gonna get is really small compared to these whales that are putting millions of dollars in. That's just one example I showed you guys of someone depositing 15 million, right? That's just one whale. Imagine projects gonna put in very short time, they've already raised $500 million, right? So whales are like farming this like crazy, and they might get something that might be worth looking up their funds. But for the average Joe, I don't know. I just don't see it. I mean, feel free to to rebuttal me or come to my Telegram chat and we can chat about it. But I just don't see the alpha. Where is the alpha? Like, the alpha is usually in the mismatch of information, or when there's a market that doesn't believe in what you believe in, and that's how you make the gains, because they realize something that you've realized before them. But if everyone knows about Blast and if everyone's farming it, who are you gonna flip it on, right? And so I guess we'll see. But yeah, let's continue. So this is the tweet I want to show you guys about someone depositing, 31 million, not 15 million. It's 15,000 ETH. Okay. Lastly, I just want to show you a tweet, that very fantastic way of summarizing this whole video. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hence why I'll just go through the tweet, because I think he's hit the nail on the head. So he said, a wise man once said, who farmed who? Did the NFT holders farm Blur, or did Blur farm the holders? Blast is a honeypot chain promising lucrative vapor tokens in return for TVL, mixing Blur with Friendtech, sprinkled with some curve. I'm going to fade once again. I didn't rug you on Friendtech, and in my opinion, Pacman, Blur, and Paradigm are rich enough. Touche. I mean, like, these guys, they got like enough funds, right? So and his previous point about, the fact that, it's a combination of Blur, Friendtech, and Curve. I mean, it's just bang on. While there are many interested in short-term Ponzi's and it will suck some liquidity, I think there will be opportunities for the same ETH that exceed 4% while not being honeypotted and facing risk on experimental chain. Much more value is staying liquid and hoping chains come in 3 months to follow narrative than be stuck behind the glass. Have fun first 2 weeks, you guys. So, but the other thing interesting here, like he mentioned, instead of looking up your capital in that 3 months or whatever, whenever the airdrop's gonna be, would you be able to outcompete whatever the like I said, I don't think the airdrop's gonna be worth much or you're gonna be flipping for much. But let's say he does a 2x. In that time, can you do a 2x or 3x or 4x or 5x? I mean, the way the market's going now, even big caps are doing 3x. We've seen Solana do a 3x. We've seen all these big caps doing crazy numbers, right? And so you just doing other things with your ETH might even be the best way to go. And the other thing that hardly anyone is mentioning is the security. Like, I mean, with all these projects, especially new ones like Blast, there's always security risk. There's always hacking risk. We've also talked about the multi-sig risk, right? A lot of people, I get it. People are making money. They're shitting their referral link. Everyone to their own. I I got to respect the hustle. End of the day, like I'm also doing my YouTube video, but what I'm trying to stress on, guys, like, just understand that people can have ulterior motive. They might not want to help you. They might just want to be shilling stuff. And you got, as an investor, at the end of the day, you got to make your own decision. You got to look at the risk. These are what I think about the project. I haven't got any referral links. I won't be putting in the description because I haven't even used the platform. And so those are my thoughts. I hope I didn't go on too much of a rant, but hope you guys kind of got where I'm coming from. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.